wounded that will finally win the battle. For me, it gives me peace of mind, therefore. I will not have time to meticulously take you through these two texts, but I hope that with that laborious introduction, you'll be able to appreciate my in-text into the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation. So chapter 7 of the book of Revelation will tell us of the four beasts. The beast number 1 is the lion, and after the lion, you have the bear. After the bear, you have the leopard. After the leopard, then you have the beast that had horns and teeth and iron and etc. And traditional interpretation would lock up those interpretations and passages into the starting up of the Babylonian Empire, into the Medo-Persian Empire, into the Greeks and etc., ultimately into the Roman Empire, and how Rome itself multiplies itself into the 10 states of Europe. That becomes the Anglo-Saxons, the Herulis, the Visigoths, the Suevis, the Alemanes, and etc., simply interpreted Anglo-Saxons. That becomes the British, the Germans, the French, the Italians, and the Suevis, and etc. And this monstrous construction of political interpretation from the book of Daniel finds its way into the book of Revelation, chapter 13. And chapter 13 then tells us of the lamb-like beast, but over and above the lamb-like beast, inside there also, you would find this beast that looks like a lion. Its feet are like a leopard, but its mouth was like that of a bear. So you need to understand the beasts that are given in chapter 7 and their activities, and as they manifest themselves in the book of Revelation into this monstrous beast also. But what am I interested in? Why am I bothering you with all these things? If we are to look at the global times which we are going to be living at the end, there are some certain characteristics that we're going to be finding out. Number 1, you, Nebuchadnezzar, you are the head of gold. What does that mean? The processes of thinking and administration are Babylonian. Our governments, in terms of their thinking, they are Babylonian. Pagan and evil to the core. Not only that, their hearts are like the Medes and the Persians. Arrogant. Once they make a law, they don't want to change it, even if it destroys them. That's the time of Daniel. He has been thrown into the lion's den. They say, hey, please, my brother, your friend is in the furnace. According to us, the Medes and the Persians, once we make a law, we can't change it. Even if it is my friend, he must die there. So if constitutionalism, that is almost locked up in a Medo-Persian thing. But that's not all. It is the waistline of Greece. What is that? The immorality of our kingdoms is that of Greece. That's where you find saunas and massage parlors and prostitution and orgies becoming part of governments. Here we are with all our present means of entertainment. What do you see? Pole dancing and discos and parties and functions, which is Greek licentiousness, immorality and debauchery. Ultimately, the legs, with the legs of Rome, strong. And right now in Zambia, Zimbabwe, Southern Africa, we are still struggling with the Roman Dutch law. Interesting that the Bible will be talking about Rome as early as the book of Daniel, and to date we're still struggling with the Rome in terms of Rome and Dutch. You're a lawyer. Rome and Dutch is still here. It resurrected from the book of Daniel chapter 7, and it's here with us. We are working for the Roman Dutch law. And you ask, where is Rome and Dutch? And where is their geography? And they're terrorizing us in the south here, still using the same interpretation of law. So here are these beasts. And then when you are busy, fascinated about this beast that is coming out in chapter 13 of the book of Revelation, it says this beast will cause people not to buy and not to sell. So the system in the book of Daniel, it comes as a political system and is progressive, change over from one kingdom into another. In the book of Revelation, it becomes then a religious system. An academic, educational system also becomes an economic system. But don't worry about that. Let's take Matthew chapter 24. Let's also take Luke chapter 21 and put those two passages in context. Luke chapter 17, verse 26, and Matthew 24, then you hear, as it was in the days of Noah and as it was in the days of Lot. 8 particular things are mentioned. Number 1, as it was in those days, they were marrying and giving into marriage. They were eating and they were drinking. They were buying and they were selling. They were farming and they were building. With a traditional interpretation, you would come here and simply look at these passages and run off and say, well, they were eating and drinking, etc. But no, sit down a little bit and let me take you through. These are the last days. And the text is not just warning you of the time when these things will happen. It's already giving you a preview into the types of businesses that will be happening at the end of time.